welcome into Buckets, Action Network's daily NBA betting podcast. We're in the workshop, Thursday NBA slate, and we got a couple games, and I got the sharpest guy in the game with me. J Money is Money. I am your host, Sean Little. We are presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Go download the Action Network app, subscribe to the Action Network YouTube page. The amount of content that is coming out of the Action Network between NBA playoffs, hockey, baseball, it's unbelievable. Purely on hoops, because if you're listening to hoops, that's what you're locked in on. Articles, player prop previews coming out from Joe Delera. Me and Jay Money on here 3-4 days a week. Action Island. Just check us out. Tell a homie to check us out. We're putting in the work so you don't have to. All right, you know the deal. We give the play, we give the cap, we get you guys out of here. Jay Money is Money. Give me your best bet for the 2-game playoff slate on a Thursday.
Yeah, I'm going prop J here. Give me Derrick White over 3.5 threes, minus 115.
Yeah. Prop J, I like it. All right, I got two officials in a lean. I'm going to go Mavs first quarter, plus 1.5, minus 104. Josh Giddey, under 18.5 PRA, minus 125. And then the lean is Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell, both to score 25 plus, minus 107. Top two are official. That Tatum Mitchell, I don't have a slip printed. That is a little lean. Stay tuned. We'll talk about it either way. All right, Jay Money is Money. Prop Jay making an appearance, man. I love to see Prop Jay. And he went to one of my favorite players in the NBA, Derrick White. Now, Jay, really quick before we get to the cap. The reason I can never get behind the Jason Tatum conversation for MVP is because of guys like Derrick White on his team. There's too many evenings where Jason Tatum is not the most important player on the floor for the Boston Celtics. It's Derrick White a lot of the time. It's Jaylen Brown a lot of the time. I digress. I love Derrick White's game. Why are you looking at over 3.5 triples here?
I just want to say, I think it's a little unfair just because his team is so good. That doesn't mean that he's not a
No. Listen, Jay, it ain't had nothing to do with it.
He doesn't show up every day, so I can't say I understand what you're saying, but just because he has other great players and he doesn't have the ball in his hands a ton, like I do feel like I just want to get this off my chest. Like everybody talk about Jokic, best player in the NBA, best player in the world. The guy has the ball in his hands the whole game, but he still has a really great team as well that makes him better. Like the Nuggets are nothing without Aaron Gordon. They're nothing. Like now that Jamal Murray is injured and not playing well, they're absolutely nothing. So I just kind of want to stop all that. Like when these guys have great starting fives, like it's not their fault. You see what I'm saying? But Jokic, I think he gets a lot of the praise because he has the ball in his hands like 75% of the game. But when you see those other players not playing well, they look like a very mediocre team. So I had to say that.
Fair enough. I don't want to derail the pod. You know what I'm saying? Because we could derail the pod. You know, me and Jay Money could go off on a tangent or two. Let's get back to the play. Derrick White over 3.5 threes in game 2. Talk to me.
Yeah, man, my guy is shooting 50% from three. I mean, the Cavs can't stop him. It's almost like you have to game plan to double team Derrick White to send a couple of them. I mean, my guy is getting 3 or 4 made threes by halftime here. So he's shaking his head like, man, these guys cannot guard me. Like he has all the confidence in the world. Not only can he hit catch and shoot threes, he can hit a pull up threes. He can hit off the dribble threes as well. So when you have all 3 of those in your bag, and he's feeling it right now, and the Cavs, they don't really have a ton of great defenders over there. They're putting their best defenders, obviously, on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So Derrick White just has like a free reign in this series. He's shooting 50% from 3 so far in this in the playoffs as well. He's averaging 4.67 made threes a game so far in the 6 games, and he's attempting 9.33 threes as well a game. So the volume is there, the makes are there, the confidence is there, the pull up, the step back. All that shit is there, man. He's absolutely feeling it. It feels like he's shooting into an ocean right now. And like I said, I mean, him going up against like a Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland or even Max Strus, he could get off threes versus any one of those guys. I like Derrick White to continue his confident shooting here, and I like him over 3.5 threes. I think he might have to start getting like some Steph type numbers, Sean. Like it might have to start to get to like 4.5, 5.5 for me to stay away from this. He's going crazy right now.
No doubt. In 6 playoff games, he's hit 4+ in 4 of them. Last
Yeah.
3 games, 7 of 12, 5 of 10, 8 of 15. Big thing here for me is the volume is going to be there. That's the only place he's really getting shots up. He's not going
Facts.
to the line. Last 4 games, in 3 of them, he went to the line 0 times. Like, he's not getting to the line. He's not shooting twos. He's shooting all threes. He's getting great looks because of the rest of the guys around him. And yes, bro, his confidence is absolutely through the roof. I like the spot. I love Derrick White. See, I want everybody to pay attention out there. This is the type of stuff that can happen to you if you shave your head and come home. When you stop hiding, and come home like me myself, you know what I'm saying? Derrick White, you saw what game went to another level when he took off that goofy ass headband and shaved his head. You know who's next? J Money, you know who's next?
Who? Shit, LeBron, Jalen
No, no.
Suggs.
Jalen
Hey,
Suggs.
LeBron, Jalen
No,
Suggs. Who
look,
else? Jeff Green, Doc
look,
Rivers. It's
look,
a
man.
lot of them.
Look, man. It's clear LeBron not coming home. He just refuses to do it. The next guy to do it is Jalen Suggs. And watch my man Jalen Suggs' game go to another level.
Okay.
But yes, Derrick White, he's been sensational all year. Salute to Derrick White. He's the X factor for them. He is the most important player on that team a lot. Like, Porzingis going down, they could deal with a little bit here. We'll see how it goes when we start bumping into teams like Minnesota potentially or Oklahoma City. But, man, they would be in bad shape if they missed Derrick White. Let's hope Derrick can continue to stay hot and cash over 3.5 triples for J Money is money. All right, Jay, I'm going to go to the Mavs. I'm gonna kick it off and start in the Mavs first quarter plus 1.5 minus 104. Right before we hopped on, you know, me and Jay Money have a little chat before we go live, and we were talking about how the market is getting real tight. It's getting real sharp. You really got to find your spots and have a real good reason on why you're back in a spot. And I think I do here when we come to the Dallas Mavericks here in the first quarter plus 1.5. All right, Jay. First quarter specifically in the playoffs are typically just high variance spots. Now, key here is Luka Doncic is hobbled. It's clear as day to me. If you watch that game from the tip, he looked like he was not right. He was focused on finding other guys. He was not going to the basket. He looked like he couldn't get to the basket if he wanted to. He was either shooting a three or trying to find somebody in transition that looked even slower than it always looks. Like, we know Luka wants to slow it down, but he just doesn't look right on the lower half. His legs are not there. He's dealing with the knee injury, et cetera. And I think it's actually, he's downplaying it quite a bit. All right, so it was 23-23 at the end of the first quarter in game one. The reason I'm back in this spot, I think this is clearly the freshest you're going to get Luka Doncic. And also, the Thunder have started off a little slow here in these first quarters. If you remember in game one, they blew their doors off in the second quarter, and they blew their doors off in the fourth. They won the second quarter by 9 points. They won the fourth quarter by 12, 28-16 to close out that games. Quarter number one and quarter number three were pretty even. Listen to these numbers, Jay Money, on the Thunder. In the first quarter, Thunder offense is 13th out of 16 teams in offensive rating. Denver is 14th. We know how bad Denver has been to open up games. You can go back to the Lakers series. Now you see what's going on with Minnesota. They are right ahead of them by not many percentage points. Are the Oklahoma City Thunder ahead of Denver on offense? They've been slow to start the games. Now in the second quarter, once they get settled in, and this also may have something to do with the guy that I'll talk about here in a second. Josh Giddey comes off the floor. They are rolling on offense in the second quarter. Number 2 in the NBA out of all 16 playoff teams, only behind the Bucks that were putting up like 140 plus in the second quarter. So you can almost throw that out. But if you want to throw that out, they're number 1 at 129.7 in the second quarter. The Celtics are third. So the offense is clear that it needs a little time to warm up and get going. But once they get going, they have been rolling in the second quarter. So I'll back the high variance first quarter spot. I'll back the more desperate, I should say, Mavericks team. And I'll take the freshest Luka I can get him in the first quarter, coming off of treatment and rest. And I'll take the plus 1.5 points. Now, I want to be clear. I do not suggest this but I know there's people out there that do this. And, me and Jay Money are for the people here at Buckets. There is a first quarter alt spread out there of Mavs plus 2.5, minus 130. You can play alt spreads. I do not suggest it. I'm going to be on the Mavs first quarter plus 1.5, minus 104. Jay Money, you got some thoughts for me?
Yeah, I wouldn't argue off. Like, if you wanted to buy it up to 2.5, get you a little bit more room there. I can't say the Thunder missed a ton of shots. They missed some like open shots in that first quarter there. The only thing that bothers me, there's a couple things that bothers me, and there's one thing that really bothers me here, Sean. Some of these teams, like we look at the Wolves Nuggets series, and they're not really calling any fouls. But for whatever reason, the Thunder had 22 free throw attempts in the first half of that game. And that's just something that I really don't respect. I feel like if the refs are like, remember how they started the playoffs? Like, all right, look, we're going to let you guys play. These ticky-tack fouls, we're not giving it to you. And for whatever reason, they're in this particular series, or so far since game one, they're giving the Thunder all of these little ticky-tack fouls, and I don't respect it. I feel like everything should be very even, like on both sides. Even if they were doing it for the Mavs and Luka was getting every little foul, I would be saying the same thing. But even some other series, even here in round two, they're not calling every game the same. I do not respect it whatsoever. You can't pick and choose the players or teams that you want to call like the regular season foul calls on, and then the other team, you don't really give them anything. So that's something I don't respect. I'm not going against the Thunder at the house. It's just really simple. And I know you're not going to like this, Sean, but it's like the same thing with Jalen Brunson as well. If they're going to call the game like that, I can't bet against the Knicks and I can't bet against the Thunder. You don't have anything for them if they're going to call the game like that. As far as guys like Chet Holmgren and guys like SGA, same thing with Jalen Brunson. You have no chance whatsoever of stopping these guys if they're going to be getting those ticky tack fouls, man. So I'm not on this play. I hope you win, Sean. I hope the Mavs win this series, but I will not be betting on the Mavs in any way, shape, form, or fashion while they're in OKC.
All right, Jay Money was on the phone with Andrew Nemhard before he hopped on. He was talking through the ticky-tackness. No, but I get it. The officials are a big part. The officiating and the scope and how the optics of everything is looking at the time should be part of your cap. I 100% understand that, but I believe in a high variance spot in the first quarter where it's shown that the Thunder have been slow to start, I'll back the hopefully fresh Luka to where he can make an impact there, and I'll take the 1.5. All right. My second official. It's time. We talked about it for a second. Some people mentioned it in the Action Network Slack. Josh Giddey, under 8.5, PRA minus 125. The time has come to fade Josh Giddey. Now, the talk all year, Jay Money, we've had it as well, is that how impactful is this guy going to be in the playoffs when stuff starts to get really thick and when OKC needs more size? Now, if they do go on to play Minnesota, I don't know how this dude's on the floor at all, but we'll get there when we get there. But still, in this situation, in this series, it's already starting to show itself. This guy can't really shoot. I know we played a lot better offensively down the stretch in the regular season. And then when you talk about the Pelicans, they didn't really need to go all out and score that much against New Orleans. They had no answer. Zion off the floor, BI not at his best. They just didn't have enough offense. So that wasn't really a worry for the Pelican series, but I think we've arrived here in this Dallas Mavericks series. Giddey played 19 minutes last night. That's the least amount of minutes he's played, Jay Money, since December 21st versus the Clippers. Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, played 17 minutes. Isaiah Joe played 15 minutes, was awesome. Aaron Wiggins played 23 minutes, shot the leather off the pill. Kassan Wallace played 23 minutes, impact guy. I believe all those dudes are going to be eating into Josh Giddey's minutes. Josh Giddey may start. Dagnall might let him continue to be the starter. He's up against real tough competition for minutes, so I have to fade his PRA. He had 9 points, rebounds, assists in game one. I believe it's more in the same in game two. Jay Money, how you feel?
Yeah, it's just really fun. Like, I'd like to say something, I don't want to get in trouble, but every time I hear Josh Giddey's name, it's just like I can't help myself but to crack up laughing. But yeah, he only played he only played 17 minutes in game one, Sean. But yeah, he only has 2 points. He's missing wide open shots. He can't shoot. I think Giddey is a little bit better. Like, he can't be like that fast break type of guy. But we know guys like Aaron Williams, Jalen Williams as well. That was like, shout out to Stephen Keach, man. He put out over 6.5 PRA for Jalen Williams the one that's coming off the bench. You see what I'm saying? The one that went to Arkansas, and that shit cashed like in the first half. So they gotta play guys like him, Casey Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe. Is what's really interesting. Gordon Hayward only played 7 minutes in that first game. That was a little interesting to me as well. So they kind of see what players that they're gonna be like the hard nosed type of players, and I think that's a good look. They're looking at Giddey's unders, and that one. I mean, shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they even switched up the starting lineup there as well. So that's a good look from you, Sean. I might have to ride with you on my guy Giddey there under his 18.5 PRA.
Yeah, I mean -7 in the plus minus. Everybody else on the board damn near in double digits. all three of those guys I mentioned. Isaiah Joe +12, Aaron Wiggins +18, Kassan Wallace +13. Giddey is a -7, and that goes into factor into that first quarter. That's when Josh Giddey is going to be on the floor, is in the first quarter. That's also why I'm going to take that 1.5 with the Dallas Mavericks. All right, really quick, not an official, a lean. I do like the spot. I just haven't printed. I don't want to tell you guys a play if I haven't printed it yet, and I haven't printed this one yet, but I do lean this way. Jason Tatum, 25+ points. Donovan Mitchell, 25+ points. -107 on the little points. Same game parlay. I mean, Jay, Donovan Mitchell, the only man over there that can score.
That's a fact.
I mean, look, that's the whole handicap on Donovan Mitchell, and he knows it. That's the funny part. Like, if you watch Donovan Mitchell, he'd be looking around like, man, just give me the ball, bro.
Just give me the ball,
like,
bro,
just
and get out the way.
Just get out the way. I'll go to the cup. I'll pull up for 3 if I get a look. Just like, I understand he was being a leader, and we talked about, Cleveland raising that Donovan Mitchell first round win banner when he leaves town. It's a good W for Donovan Mitchell in the franchise. And it was nice to see him be a leader to Garland and all them in the Magic series. That shit is all done and dusted against Boston. He's like, the only way we have an even chance is if I score 30+. I expect him to continue. He had a good game 1 offensively. I expect him to have a good game 2 offensively. And then Jason Tatum, what a life. Just come out, have bad games, beat people by 30. Like, that's
the one. That's the one you should be worried about, Sean.
Yeah, you think because they might smack those boys. He got 20 points. It's all good.
Well, I mean, you always give Tatum some hate. You see what I'm saying? So I'm kind of surprised that and I understand why. Sometimes he could be like Max Strus right now. It's like, where the hell is he? You see what I'm saying? But that's the one that I'd be worried about. I mean, Mitchell go for 25 in his sleep. He can go for 25 in his sleep. Even versus a really tough Celtics defense, he's getting the volume. He's the best player on the team by far. We know this. But Tatum, you're just kind of worried that, like we talked about it, they have many different guys that could go crazy. Drew Holiday could have a game. Derrick White has been having a lot of games lately. He even had a 38-point game versus the Heat there as well. Jaylen Brown could go absolutely crazy as well. You see what I'm saying? So Tatum just sometimes he kind of picks and chooses his spots. Like, all right, tonight I don't really have to. Like, they know that they're in it for the long haul. Tonight I don't really have to. I can go out there and get rebounds, get assists. You know what I'm saying? Go for a little 15, 20-point triple-double or something. So I still think it hits. I'm just saying that obviously Tatum is more of the worry in this particular spot.
Yeah, I mean, he had a poor game. He still had 18 in game 1. He was 7 of 19 from the floor. He didn't hit a 3 and only got to the line 4 times. I expect him to play a little bit better than that, get to the line, knock down a couple. If he could knock down 2 threes and get to the line, his regular season average are right around that, 6-7 attempt mark. We should be able to be at 25 points here in a hurry. Stay tuned. If you like that lean, go ahead and play it. But to recap, the officials, J Money is money, is on the man himself, Derrick White, over 3.5 triples, -115 in the market as we record this on Wednesday afternoon. I'm on the Mavs, first quarter, +1.5, -104. Josh Giddey, under 18.5 PRA, -125. And the lean is Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell, both to score 25+, -107. For J Money is money, I am your host, Sean Little. Don't forget to subscribe to the Action Network YouTube page. Go download the Action Network app. Follow my guy J Money is money on Twitter at J Money is money. Subscribe to his YouTube page. He's live daily, 1 p.m. Eastern. Holler at me on Twitter. I am at Chicago Flow as well. For J Money is money, I'm your host, Sean Little. Don't forget it. Get buckets, baby. Don't forget it. We are presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. We'll see y'all tomorrow.